Top Originator Mastermind with Brian Sachs, where top originators come to close more, make more, and still enjoy life.
Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hello everyone. I just want to make sure that everyone can see my screen and everyone can hear me. Everybody, if you could just type in the box, let me know that you can see the screen and you can hear me, and we'll get started right away. Okay, so I want to just share the topic this month is why you need to pick a niche and how your business will immediately change for the better once that happens. I also want to just mention to you that next month we are going to have a very special guest, Teddy Burris, with us on our May call, and that will be about something really critical to all of your success, which is going to be LinkedIn. Teddy is a LinkedIn expert, and he will be with us in May to go over LinkedIn, setting up your profile, and everything else that's involved with being successful on LinkedIn. So this month, here we go. And I'm assuming, again, everybody can see the screen. Can everybody see the screen? How about now? Everybody seeing the screen? Okay, perfect. So here we go. Why you need to pick a niche and how your business will immediately change for the better. And I can't even tell you how important this particular module and training is, because every one of the gurus in our industry is actually teaching you incorrectly how to use a script and how to, go chase business and all the various sundry of things that are being taught to us. But my real big aha and my real big transformation happened once I decided to use that formula. Pick a niche, become the expert in that niche, and let everyone know about it. So I will take some questions at the end, but you really ought to pay attention to this, because I'm going to tell you this is very much a game changer if you pay attention. So many of you have heard me say this over and over again. This is sort of, the best way I can describe our industry is that we all look like a head of lettuce. We all look the same, folks. And that's usually a very, very bad situation. We all look the same. We're all saying the same things. And so the only way that people can compare us is via price. And that, of course, is the one thing we don't want to be compared with, because none of us will ever have the best price. So what do you say when you meet someone? So Dan, Kareem, Shane, Dan, who else is here? Brian, what do you say when you meet someone? What do you tell them? You're at a cookout and you guys are all having a great time, and they say, hey, what do you do? What do you do? Type it in the box. Most of the time I'm hearing people say, well, I'm a loan officer, or I help people get into a home, or I'm a mortgage broker, mortgage banker, mortgage lender. What do you all do, folks? Type it in the box. So, right. So that is exactly what I'm talking about. When you tell someone you are a mortgage banker, you help people get into a home, you're a mortgage broker, you help people achieve their American dream. Al, what do you do for a living? Al just joined us. Al, what do you do? Type it in the box. I make dreams come true. Wow, Denise, I'm going to call you after this. Denise is making dreams come true. Okay, I mean, that could be not to be vulgar, but that could be taken in many different ways, right? Um, so, Dan, I help veterans who are in need of renovating and purchasing a home. It does get attention, Denise. That is accurate. So here's the thing, okay? When you tell someone you're a mortgage banker, you help dreams come true, you help people buy their first home, their next question, Al says he's a mortgage professional. So, Al, you're a mortgage professional. What's the next question I'm going to ask you? Hey, Al, what are rates doing? Okay? And that's the exact question we don't want anyone to ask us, right? So, here's what I tell people. I help buyers who've had a bankruptcy or other credit challenge get into a new home with low down payments and attractive rates. I'll say it again. I help buyers who've had a bankruptcy or other credit challenge get into a home with low down payments and attractive rates. Now, that's very, very counterintuitive. And what you're going to learn being with me in this mastermind is that if you look at what everyone else is doing and you do the complete opposite of them, you will be successful. And this is one of those situations. So why pick a niche and be the expert? Well, it actually resolves almost all of the problems that you and I are frustrated with on a daily basis, right? When you are the expert in a niche and you are solving a specific problem that someone has, they rarely will shop you. They just want a solution to their problem. Another frustration, they will meet with you during your hours and they will actually take off work to meet you at your office. I was in a Denny's not long ago seeing a loan officer taking an application, and I thoroughly actually lost my appetite. It was so repulsive to me. They actually expect to pay more because they have a problem. And think about this. When you do a loan for someone and you do a great job and they've got an 800 credit score, right? They've got an 800 credit score. They do a great job. You do a great job. So what? You're expected to do a great job. So, you've got to really work your tail off, and you can look in the March training for all the tools that you can use to stimulate those referrals, right? How to build an iron cage around your clients and referral sources and force referrals. But I'm going to tell you something. When you do a loan for someone that has a specific challenge or issue that the general mortgage population can't or won't deal with, those people will refer you all day long. They love you. They will send you gifts, and the agent will refer you. So you can now market to your competitors. Do you hear that? I can go around to other originators who, many of you may view as competition. I don't. But I can go to other originators and say, hey, what are you doing with these deals? I can make you look good by getting these deals closed. You can walk into closed offices. So you can walk into a Keller Williams or any other Weichert or whoever that has two in-house loan officers, RE/MAX, with their own mortgage company, right? You can walk in there and say, hey, I know that you're awesome and your in-house lenders do a great, great job. But what are you doing about these buyers? Because your lenders likely don't handle them. You can get referrals from other professionals more easily, accountants, attorneys, construction firms. And it becomes much easier for you to get free publicity and become the go-to mortgage expert in your area. Look in the quick win section, everyone, and you're going to see in there a resource I put, a new quick win. So it's a resource I put in there for you to get free publicity. Much, much easier if you're not just a loan officer, not just a originator, not just a mortgage broker, but you have an area of expertise. So I know why you won't do it. So let's get that out of the way. Let's get that elephant out of the room right away, right? You won't do it because you think it makes you less likely to get good deals, easy deals, and that you're going to become, you'll excuse my language and vulgarity, everyone, but you're going to become a crap magnet for just the deals that you're expert in. Well, I got to tell you, I am the national expert on working with buyers that have had a bankruptcy, foreclosure, or other credit issue. And here's what's interesting. 76% of my business are good, easy loans with scores above 720, and 24% are niche programs. But you know what? That 24%, that little insignificant amount, allows for the 76% of my business to continue to grow and grow and grow based on everything I just shared with you. So you do have to be careful. And I often have to remind my agents, hey, you saw what I did on this tough deal. Imagine what a great job I'm going to do on your easy loans. Folks, never, ever assume, because it truly does make an ass of you and me when you do. So ask for the business. Totally fine. You should be keeping expert hours, okay? People will take off work to go to the motor vehicles or to a doctor or to an accountant appointment, right? And so you should nip it in the bud. This is worth writing down. When I speak to a client, I will often ask them right up front. I don't say, when would you like to get together? I will often say, what is a good day where you can take off early or go in late if we're doing this in person? And I will only meet them at my office. Experts do that. Act like an expert and you will be treated like an expert. But you got to have a niche. That's the one piece of this puzzle that really is critical. So let's look and prove to ourselves what what are other industries doing, and why shouldn't we as originators do the same? So there are general internists that are working really hard, and there are cardiac specialists. And many of you that are members of the Boomerang system already see this. You've seen this before. But I got a question for you. Have you implemented it? Okay. There are accountants. So the general accountant right now is killing himself working, 24/7 for the next 2 weeks to get taxes done. This guy is smiling. Why? Because he has a specialty. He solves a problem. This guy is competing with Quicken, with TurboTax and all the other H&R Blocks and everybody else out there. This guy isn't, because he charges $400 or $500 an hour, and he helps you when you are being audited by the IRS. Same thing here in law. There's general practitioners, and then there's a commercial real estate tax law expert. Who's making more money? Who's working less hours? Who has a better life? Who is considered an expert? So let's break down a little further and talk about what is a niche and what is not a niche, because you may have some of this backwards, okay? FHA, VA, conventional, first-time buyers, and jumbos, those are not niches, folks. Remember, a niche is solving a specific problem that very few other lenders are dealing with, okay? So, what niches and how to choose? What specific problem can you solve? What problems are most of our competitors not solving? What is an easily identifiable group of people? And this is really important. Are we able to easily reach them? I can find lists of people who've had a bankruptcy or foreclosure. Some specialties, it's much harder to find a niche. And do you have, this is obviously critical. Do you have a program to solve their specific issue? So let's talk about some good niches. We just talked about some bad niches, okay? FHA, not a niche. VA, not a niche. Conventional, not a niche. First-time buyers, not a niche. Jumbos, not a niche. Here we go. What are good niches? Divorce. Do you know 70% of all divorces involve real estate, and 1 out of every 2 marriages ends in divorce? How about renovation loans? Very few lenders do a good job. Homebridge, where I work, we are the national leader in renovation loans. Specific grants. There are certain grant programs that could be very, very useful. Um, Boomerang buyers, that's my niche. How about construction perm single closing? Very few are offering that product. How about condos or co-ops? There are very few lenders that specialize in condos or co-ops. Foreign nationals, teacher or policeman next door. How about 100% doctor loans? How about self-employed buyers with bank statements only? People that aren't necessarily showing their income. I mean, do you, if you would be kind enough to type in the box, do you all see how important this is and how different this is? So these people are easily reached. You are solving a problem. And I actually had a private session with one of our members this week. And one of the pillars that I am having this originator put into their business is divorce. So this person lives in a part of the country that literally is cyclical because of weather. So, if you're in San Diego, you don't have a weather challenge. If you're in New Jersey, you do, because New Jersey and New England got creamed this year with snow. But guess what? People who are getting a divorce, they aren't rate sensitive. They just need to do it. Doesn't matter whether it's raining or snowing, they have a deadline that they're under. See, do you understand that? That's very, very, very important. So, those are some good niches. So, how do you become the expert? It's actually very, very simple. Okay. It's almost like, and you might want to write this down. I should have put this in the presentation. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Anybody can be the expert in a niche. I'll show you the steps to that shortly. I barely graduated high school. I have no advanced degrees. My wife actually is brilliant. She has 2 master's degrees. I'm the dummy in the family, okay? I have no degrees, but I am the national expert on working with buyers that have had a bankruptcy or other credit challenge. Do you know how I became the expert? Anybody want to type in the box? So all of you can do this too, okay? I became the expert because the title was available and I claimed it, and no one has questioned it, okay? Now, I'm not saying be a fake expert, and I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I do believe I am the national expert on this topic. I claimed the title, and no one's ever questioned it. You can do the same, by the way. So you become the expert by read the guidelines. I know that sounds almost insultingly simple, but it's important. Find the associations. Read up on the niche and their issues. Speak to and meet with investors that handle the programs. I mean, it's really very simple. If I'm doing buyers who've had a bankruptcy or foreclosure or short sale, I'm meeting with the investors and marketing to the people I know fit their guidelines. It doesn't matter what niche it is. Okay, if I'm doing doctor loans, it's not for every doctor, right? I think they just added vets, veterinarians. I think they just added dentists. But I'm going to market. I'm going to meet with the investor, and I'm going to market to those people I know I can help because I know the programs. I am going to speak to interns and residents, and I'm going to find out what their needs are. Most of the time, they're lacking cash, right? Interview people in the niche. So look what I get to put in my signature line. Brian Sachs, CDLP, Certified Divorce Lending Professional. And you know how many? I can't even tell you how many times I get the question, what does that mean? What do you do? It starts a conversation, folks. So you may be wondering in your head, well, I thought Brian was the boomerang expert, right? But working with credit challenge buyers. I am. And here is another specialty. So you see, I'm setting myself apart. I want you all as top Originator Mastermind members to be doing exactly the same thing. So, you got to look at the tool I put in the quick win section of your membership area. And once you've picked that niche and you become the expert and you've declared to the world your expertise, go there and let the media know about it. It's a tool that is free, and it will allow you to immediately get free publicity for your expertise. So that's all I wanted to cover. Please, please don't dismiss this. This is so critical to your success. Take the time and follow this path and choose a niche. Doesn't mean you're not going to do other business. Very counterintuitive, but stand for something, folks. And so I'm going to open up the line for any questions. If you have a question, type it in the box, please. Okay, looks like we got a very silent group here. Larry, you have any questions? Denise, Dan, Clinton, Brian, Al? Who else we got here? Kareem, Robert, Shane, anybody have any questions? So Denise is asking if your company does not have a VA renovation loan, no doctor loan. Well, you know what, Denise? I'm going to open up your mic. Maybe it's easier than typing. Denise? Can you hear me, Denise? So I guess Denise cannot hear me. Let's see. Denise, are you there? There, Denise? Nope. Okay. So Denise, it says if your company does not have VA renovation loans, no doctor loans, what do you do? Well, I'm sure that your company has some sort of loan that do they do single settlement construction loans? Do they do any of the grants that maybe some of the other lenders don't do? I'll tell you what, another really good niche is USDA. A lot of companies have them, but they don't do them. So there are dozens and dozens of niches. What problem can you solve, Denise, that others can't? So Denise does USDA. And I know in New Jersey, there are lots of rural properties. Lead with that. Okay. Denise also does 203K renovation loans. She also, if she does those, probably also does conventional home style loans. And do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know that a conventional home style loan with 15% down can be used for investors? That means an investor could buy a home as an investment and get the money to rehab it with decent rates, not having to go to a hard money lender and just put 15% down. That's huge, okay? So Kareem says, I'm a broker, so I can do all of these programs and have been using them. But now, Kareem, I want you to be able to set yourself up as the expert in the niche. So Al has a question. Al, let me see if I can open your mic. Kareem, let me see if I can open your phone. Kareem, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So you have all these programs, but have you ever thought to pick one and just go to town on it as your expertise? Or are you
Well,
marketing in a way where you're just saying, hey, I can help everybody do everything?
I've been doing that. Hey, I can help everyone. But I've been trying to focus on the 203K and the home style program because I'm in New York, so there's a lot of like foreclosures and a lot of fixer uppers. So that's been pretty much what I've been focusing on.
Right. And that's my point. That's critical. So you want to get the word out and start pushing that Kareem Baldwin is the expert when it comes to renovation loans and investor financing. And you want your marketing to say that, Kareem, and you want to join your board of realtors and teach a class on that. And you want to go to the quick win section and let reporters in New York know that. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. So I want to focus on doing those things that you said because I'm not doing that board of realtors or anything like that. So
Right.
it's just
And you're
been
probably not walking into the Keller Williams because they have 3 in-house loan officers, right?
correct.
Well, now you have something you can walk in with. See?
That's true. That's true.
All right. So God bless you. Let me see if Al's available. Did you have any questions, Kareem?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right,
Love your
great.
training. Love this program. All the realtors are loving like the flyers and everything. So it's been great help. I'm glad I'm part of this
Awesome.
mastermind program.
Well, thank you, and I'm thrilled to have you here. All right, let me move on to Al. Let's see if I can get Al. Hang on. Al, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. Do you see the questions that I typed?
I see can they deny. I'm not sure what that means.
I mean, prior to that, I had another question about how do we join the local board of realtors?
It's really very simple. It's a good question, but it's really very simple. Call your local board of realtors. Tell them that you would like to become an affiliate member. So, there are usually a couple different levels of membership, Al. One level that pays full boat is a realtor, right? The other level is an affiliate. So that could be a mortgage company, a home inspection company, a title company. So like in Baltimore where I am, I think the realtors pay like $500 or $600 a year and I pay $150.
Okay, that's important because in California, that was what I meant by can they deny? Because in California, mortgage loan originators and the real estate agents use the same license issued by BRE.
Okay, well that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Join your board of realtors and get to meet the realtors. It's fine.
Okay, got that. And speaking of realtors, Brian, I thought about sending an email blast to the local realtors in my area where I operate. Maybe purchase a list of realtors, like maybe 1,000 realtors or so, local realtors, and send them an email. However, I was told that the companies, who send these emails, such as Constant Contact, they do not allow purchased lists to be sent out.
Right. Do
So
you know why? Do you know why? It's a very ugly 4-letter word. Do you know what the 4-letter word is?
You want to tell me?
Spam. So let me explain something to you, Al, because I think this will be very, very helpful to everyone here, okay? You are thinking about chasing people who don't know you, aren't interested in you, never heard of you, and you're going to tell them all the wonderful things you can do for them. Is that right?
Through email, yes.
Okay. So now you are going to chase people that don't know you, don't like you, don't know of you, what you do, don't know if you're for real, and you're going to tell them all the wonderful things you can do. This is what other gurus are teaching you, and it's what really truly pisses me off. Okay? Why not? And I'm going to tell you, not only are you spamming people, you're wasting your time and you're wasting your energy. When you chase people, you push them away. So what is the alternative, Al? The alternative is a much more elegant way to reach those realtors, and I'll give you 3 of them. You ready?
Yes.
Way number 1, join the board, teach a class. Teach a class. So, for example, in my Boomerang Expert system, for those of you that are members of that system, you actually have 2 classes in there that you can get approved for continuing credit hours. One's an hour-and-a-half class, and one's a 3-hour class on working with boomerang buyers. I teach that class at least 4 or 5 times a year. Every time I teach it, I have 30 to 40 agents in there, okay? I leave there with transactions, and now I have a list of people I can market to who actually know who I am and see me as the expert. So that's way number one, okay? Teach a class. Join your board, teach a class. Way number two, go to the real estate offices and do a class for them, for that particular office, okay? Way number three, write an article for your publication, your real estate publication, and or use the quick win to get some publicity for yourself in your local market, and then use that to expose to realtors. Do not spam realtors. Don't do it. It's not going to work. You're wasting your time and you look desperate, okay? Experts don't look desperate.
Okay, I mean, I think those are very good tips. The thing is, you know, I never taught a class before. You know, I mean, I can learn the program a little bit here and there, but how do I teach a class, like an hour and a half class? What are you going to talk about for an hour and a half?
Well, are you a boomerang expert member, Al?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, in the boomerang, and I'm not pushing the course isn't even for sale right now, but in there are, you know, probably 18 or, you know, not 18. What am I saying? There are probably about 80 or 90 slides. You know, if you're going to talk about a slide a minute, so I'm going through FHA, I'm going through VA, I'm going through conventional guidelines. I'm talking about bankruptcy. I'm talking about foreclosure. I'm talking about the alternate sources. I'm talking about types of bankruptcies. You know, so in there is actually the outline. For those of you that aren't members, use it. My God. You know, you have the outline to give to your state to get approved. The Board of Realtors will do it for you. And Al, you know, here's something so important, okay? The Board of Realtors are the ones who fill up the room for you. You don't have to chase anyone. The board is going to fill the room for you because they're going to advertise you to their members as the expert. Do you see how elegant that is?
Yes.
And do you see how different that is from sending a blast spam email to realtors? Number one, your spam is likely to go into the junk box, into their spam folders. So maybe, you know, I didn't plan on talking about this, but I will. When you email someone, number one, you got to hope it gets through. If you're spamming people, it's not going to go through. It's going to wind up in their spam box. Number two, you've got to hope that they open it. And number three, you got to hope that they read it. And then if they do all of those things, Al, which is unbelievable, right? Now you're assuming that they have a deal to give you immediately because you know they're not printing out your email to save it. Now you understand why it won't work?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Al. I hope that was helpful. So Larry, let's go to Larry. Larry, are you there? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, so Larry wrote here, his niches are boomerang borrowers, which I love, obviously, properties that have a lot of acreage. I got a farmette right now, Larry, in Westminster, Maryland, I can't do. It's 15 acres, a shed, a barn, and some other stuff.
If it goes through Farm and Ranch, it's a commercial product, and I can do that any state.
You can? Really? How much down?
Yeah, 30%.
Yeah, this guy's trying to use USDA, but he can't.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I've told him. Anyway, the only thing that I don't like about what you said here is tough loans that others can't do. That needs to be a lot more fine-tuned and specific. Boomerang buyers, very specific problem, right? Acreage properties, very specific. Tough loans that others can't do scares me when you say that. So don't say that.
Okay, so it's basically, we don't have any overlays on the agency guidelines, and others do. As an example, Fannie will allow for adjoining lots if they're buildable. If they're not adjoining, they can't be buildable. I'm competing right now against a lender who is saying that Fannie won't do adjoining lots even if they're buildable. So we're stepping in and saving the deal on a 50-acre parcel because we don't have the overlay.
Okay, so
Part of it's because I'm reading the guidelines and understanding and calling Fannie and asking questions.
Right. So now who needs that, by the way?
Realtors that are selling the properties.
No, but I mean, you're in where? You're in California?
Oregon, Washington.
You're in Washington. Okay.
Oregon, but I'm licensed in Washington, so I do both.
At least I'm in the right part of the country, for God's sake. Okay.
This is true.
So what I'm saying to you is seek out the realtors that have that issue.
Yes, I am.
Okay. I know you're a Boomerang buyer member, right?
Yes.
So use that outline, Larry, that you have for the Boomerang Expert class. Use that outline and use the slides as a guidepost and create a class and teach it.
I'm in the process of doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's brilliant.
I've already asked for the rural realtor association time to teach a class, and I don't have the class built yet. So that's going to be a big part of my motivation to get it done is once they tell me what my date is.
Right. So you see, now you can walk into the Keller Williams that has their own in-house mortgage company and the Remax that has their own in-house mortgage company, and you can now go to your competing originators in your territory, and you can go to realtors to do education, and you can say to all of them, hey, I have something a little bit unique. If you ever run into this issue, I'm the person to call. Yep.
I got a referral 2 days ago from a bank that can't do a property.
Right.
And yeah, I'm getting 1 to 2 referrals from other lenders that can't do things. And as you and I discussed before, I'm finding lenders that can do things well that I can't do, and that don't do things well that I can do. And we're coming up with a relationship.
You know what that's called?
What's that?
Breakfast once a quarter.
Yep.
I have breakfast with my competitors once a quarter for that particular reason.
Do you do it as a group or one-on-one?
All together.
It's a good plan. I like that.
All together, because we're not competing. So hats off to you, Larry, and keep us posted on your progress. I'm thrilled you're here.
Okay, we'll do that.
Let's see who else is here. Hang on a second. So it looks like our guest for next month is here. Teddy?
Hey, Brian, how you doing?
I'm good. So everyone, this is Teddy Burris. He is the LinkedIn guru, and Teddy will be with us next month in May, but he's popped in today, so I'm thrilled you're here, Teddy. You had a question?
Well, when I heard the topic of the discussion, it was real to my experience that, you call me the guru of LinkedIn. I respect those words, but the way you become is by doing. And so I heard your whole message, and I'm with you 100%. One of the questions I had for discussion is that, as we start expanding our business and focusing on a niche in order to expand our business, what are your thoughts on making a deliberate pivot or an adjustment when your niche turns out not to be quite what you want or expect?
Well, then you need to pick a better niche. But here's what's really going to happen. I don't mean to be that simplistic, Teddy, but here's what's going to happen. Let's say you are the LinkedIn expert for mortgage originators. Let's just say that, okay? Well, here's what's going to happen. You do a phenomenal job for me, and when I hear someone talking about LinkedIn, I'm going to refer you. That person may be an accountant. That person might be a vocational coach. That person could be anybody, right?
Yeah.
But that's how you expand your horizon. That's why I'm saying, let's go back, everybody. That's why I'm saying I'm the national expert in a niche, yet 24% of my business is that niche. The other 76% are just regular easy loans. But that 24% is the lever I use to open doors, to get in front of realtors, to do all those other things. So it's okay to pivot, Teddy. Totally fine. But if you want to, you're better off always drilling down before you drill wide. Most people do completely opposite. They drill wide and pray that at some point they'll drill down. Never happens.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. I've been, I'm continue to be more successful every day as the LinkedIn coach and trainer, despite the fact that I teach Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google Plus. I'm a leadership coach. I'm a career coach, but day in and day out, it's Teddy Burris, the LinkedIn, whatever you want to call me, guru, expert, whatever, that opens the doors for me.
So here's the thing, okay? And everybody should be writing this down. When you try to become everything to everyone, you wind up becoming nothing to anyone. Okay? And so, I've had my coach, I'm a mortgage coach, right? Basically, I'm a coach to loan officers, but I've had loan officers ask me about investments. I've had them ask me about their personal life. It all comes with the territory. Some of the questions I field have nothing to do with originating a loan, but they see me as a trusted expert. So work with what you got. So Teddy, we're going to wrap this up, but I'm thrilled you're here, and I'm thrilled to see you next month. You want to tell everybody what you're going to be sharing?
So I'm going to share the 3 best practices, high level, how in your industry, in the loan origination, am I saying that right, Brian? In the loan origination industry?
Mortgage industry, it's same thing.
Okay. How you're going to be successful, how you're going to grow your business by doing 3 things: building a presence, building your network, and building your reputation using LinkedIn as a business tool.
All right, that sounds awesome. I'm really stoked. Very, very excited for our May call on LinkedIn. And Teddy, thank you for being here.
Good, Brian, take care.
All right. Anyone else have any other questions? Let's see. Denise wants me to unmute her. Okay. I will do my best to unmute you, Denise. Hang on. Here we go. Denise? You're unmuted, Denise. Are you there? Okay, I guess Denise isn't there. I'll try one more time. Denise, you there? So for some reason, Denise is not there, or we can't hear her. So I don't think your microphone's working, Denise. Let's try one more time. You there? Nope. Okay. So, all right, everyone. Or if there are not any additional questions, I will leave you. I hope and pray that you really follow this advice and pick that niche, become the expert, and let everyone start knowing about it. And Al, I want to thank you really, because I think it's so important. That's what we don't want to do. Our community is special, and our community is all about me showing you how to get business chasing you instead of using some stupid script that isn't going to work and make you sound like a robot. Or all the other tools that get you chasing business. I don't want you chasing business. Let's get that business chasing you. So God bless. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you for being here.